To order. All right. I thought I'd put together a resolution as well. And so I typed it out on the tablet that we use for keeping track of lambing and breeding dates and all that other stuff in the barn, which is where I was when I thought about it. However, it was not in a format that I could send to.
We got it working.
Yeah. Did it the old fashioned way. I walked in, held her the tablet and she took a picture of it.
Yeah, and I just typed it.
So anyway, we can take my resolution, throw it out, totally use Austin's, go over them line by line, mix them together.
I think there's value in what you've got, so.
Yeah, I think they should be
I
mixed.
think that we need to take some of both.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
Good work, both of them.
it would not hurt my feelings if
It kind of
you
went.
used one to start the fireplace with.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I got thinking about is. I didn't say anything about subdivision. I said, development, and I don't know if that's the right word, and maybe subdivision is. I was questioning if that was too specific for this case or not, but. That would nail it right in the head, but.
Well, I was wondering if do we want to say moratorium on subdivisions and industrial
How about just development
or development or you know,
Does development, because this guy isn't a developer, so he could still. Take it and subdivide it theoretically, right?
right?
Yeah.
Do we want
So that's what I
to
got thinking after.
broaden
reading
it up?
yours. Well, I got to thinking about your statement there and wondering, I'm like, I don't know if my development wording is. That may be too broad, I don't
Well,
know.
it's do we want to narrow it? Do we want to broaden it?
Well, can I?
Sure,
So,
go ahead. Yeah,
There's 2 points here in both of your resolutions. One is is the moratorium on development or subdivision? What's one? Second is the lands that are affected. And you were specific about the lands. Austin?
Yes,
And you didn't mention the lands.
right. I did not mention any specific type of land.
So
So
is it the sense of the committee that we will ban development in the entire town of Dryden?
No.
no.
That means
But we wanted to-
we need to specify land.
This is for the moratorium. This is for
Right,
18
right,
months while we
right,
decide.
Right, for the moratorium.
But, yeah, still doesn't need to be, I mean, Austin said prime soils and soils is statewide report. I finally found a map. Color coded thing, I only made one copy of it, but. That does cover a good chunk of the town.
it's a huge amount. It's,
Yeah.
that's,
Okay, so will we get pushback from that if we're
I
asking for
would
moratorium?
be concerned about that. Ultimately, the zoning would not be that broad, right? Like if you read that article that Jason shared, they do it in several types of ways. I mean, this is down the road after this gets
Yeah.
through, but ultimately. A lot of it is based on acres and parcel size, like they only over, I'm gonna throw out an obscure number, but 20 acres or 15 acres on. Whatever soils you say you want to protect.
Mhm.
Everything over 20 acres are protecting everything under it, they're like, well, it's small enough, it's inefficient enough. Have that kind of a thing,
Right.
but at this point, the way I've written it, I do think it could be too broad.
So. I guess we don't need to get into that part of it now, but
Right.
if you limit acreage. Then Bob and Steve each go. Buy 20 acres or 15 or, they kind of chop it up and then claim it's too small or it's small enough to fall under your.
Well, I think ultimately we have to stop it from getting chopped up, like.
Right.
Evan is trying to steer towards on this one is. Subdividing 100-acre parcel of prime soil in the 20s to get it developed is still not okay.
No. Right.
Right, so I do think that maybe the subdivision word is probably key in this.
Did you all read the workforce housing committee version? Okay, and they would allow subdivision into these smaller units.
Yeah.
We want to go further than
place,
that.
though.
Go further than that.
Well, I mean,
They do support ag in this, though. They do support that.
right, but you can't support ag and freely let development and subdivision.
Right, no, I
happen.
understand, no, but
That's my struggle with what they're saying, like,
we want to work with them.
We do,
Extend-
we do.
We want to extend this.
I think it's,
We want to
the key is
extend it.
strategic growth.
Right, and that's why I put in the towards current areas of municipal infrastructure support
Yeah,
That's a good.
in the second whereas,
Yeah, that's a good.
which is essentially where the town is hoping that they're going to be,
Yeah,
you know, they don't want a new yellow barn development somewhere.
yeah.
Should we be more specific about the comprehensive plan and in the first sentence calls for the protection of agricultural lands and open spaces, or is that sufficient?
Well, that was in off of mine, that's why that's currently the air quotes here, objective
Mhm.
of the town.
And I cited that with them specifically, so
Yeah.
I do think that.
Good,
is a
Mhm.
good, okay.
good- yeah.
So that's good. And I think being positive about development in certain areas where it's permissible, that's a good thing.
Still gives them an out. It's not like we're slamming the door. It's
Yeah.
saying, hey, think twice what you're doing.
Mhm.
Right, I mean, in the long run, that's what we want ZAG to be doing.
The issue with this specifically is there are no prime soils on that parcel, so you have to do, if we're gonna tie it to soils, you have to word it the way I worded it, unless anybody else has a different idea to get that parcel covered.
When you look at this map, there aren't really very many prime soils anywhere.
No,
We're limited to
there are
that. Here, up
Yeah.
the creek.
That's why it has to be
Yeah.
the second tier.
Statewide of statewide importance.
I would just omit prime if drained, because there's such a small amount of it that. Means ultimately, prime and statewide importance soils would cover 65% of the tillable acres on that parcel.
Oh, yeah.
You know, trillion woods, or whatever you wanna call it. And that would put them in dent enough that they wouldn't go any further, right? Because they still, they can do anything wetlands or potentially
Right.
woods, whatever, but.
But we also want to make sure that whatever we're asking the moratorium for is not so specific to
For sure.
that parcel.
Yeah.
That's why I
It's in general.
think you have to say
Prime.
those two
Yeah,
at this point.
Mhm,
I don't know how else to word it. Otherwise,
right,
How much of the farmable land is being farmed right now?
pretty much all of it.
on that parcel you're
That
talking
No,
about.
I mean,
No, I don't know that quite.
there's quite a lot that is not.
I mean,
Well, that's
I don't
because,
know.
it's,
so it depends on how much of the state forest we
If it's
want to
just,
recut and start over.
if you're making
What
hay
about
hay on it.
Irish settlement there on the right-hand side as you go up the hill.
That should be farmed.
You would, I keep
I'm just
needing to
saying,
ask
that's
somebody
where-
about that, why that's
Where I'm
not.
headed with this is could you put in
Used to
something
work,
about
Yeah.
Yeah,
land that
What
is
happened?
actively farmed now?
we had a 3-year
Land under
lease on it.
Two things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's kind
that's a
of,
side conversation.
To not work.
but
no, it's,
it's actively farmed now, then we lose
What if they
everything that's
did-
not.
What if they deactivate it or don't farm it for a while? Then they can change it?
as far as the Irish settlement property, that's my theory as to what FSA is dragging their feet on, waiting for everything to totally fall in upon itself and say it's no longer a farm, and then they don't have to sell it as a farm, they can sell it as open land, get a higher price, development price, whatever, and not have to go through all the regulation hoops that they're required to go through to be selling it as a farm, if it still kind of looks like a farm.
But how, I mean, they must be paying taxes on it, so at what point does it not benefit them to?
Yeah, well, and they were paying taxes on it for
Well,
Many years.
many years prior
That's
to
why they're,
why they've got so much money sunk into the place. And I've not talked to it lately, as to,
Other than this, much of an impact. Who
who knows?
Or can we anticipate that in any way?
well, we're just hoping in 18 months, they'll consider,
we'll get the zoning written properly.
Finish up
Yeah.
stuff that we've been working on for a few years that we need to tally up.
But during this time, Austin couldn't subdivide one of his farms and put a new house on it and sell
So I
2 acres.
don't know if we have to have some acres in here. To have a minimum. Otherwise, it's gonna be a problem. I definitely think it's.
Well, I think if we, using the word subdivision, I was thinking that would, protect anybody that wanted to build a house on
3 acre lot.
a 3 acre lot off of,
Subdivide it. I
that's,
mean, you're not gonna subdivide a 10 acre lot most likely to build a house.
right. And I'm not exactly sure what the current zoning, planning, requirements are for calling it a subdivision. One house, I don't think of as being a subdivision.
No, I mean, a subdivision is taking a parcel. And creating a parcel within it. Right?
Right, several
I
parcels.
subdivided a 3 acre lot out of a 400 acre lot. In Virgil,
Mhm.
that's a minor subdivision.
So if we enacted this, I was thinking about that. If this was in place in Virgil, or this was in place 40 years ago, your dad couldn't have built his house, or 20 years ago, your grandparents couldn't have built.
That's what I mean,
If that's called a subdivision, then.
Yeah,
Yeah, like.
I mean, we're all guilty except for you guys. You buy houses that are already standing, you don't.
Yeah, but what if my girls came back and
Well, right, yeah,
wanted to live up on the corner there? Everybody asked about Mallardville and Gulf Hill Corner.
that's a beautiful
Mhm.
site right there.
Mhm.
Everybody's. So I don't know what the answer is, if. Throw the moratorium in effect and. Somebody. I don't know,
Or is that up to the lawyer when, if the town board accepts the resolution, they pass it to the lawyer needs to get the right verbiage in
Exactly.
but they are gonna,
to not totally, disallow any construction.
Oh, I think what you have in submitting it, then. Yeah, I think you'll be okay, because I think right now, just submitting what you have for tomorrow is enough to get. Like Jason said, keep the ball rolling, keep it going, so.
do we wanna,
Send both of these to the lawyer and let
Yes.
them pull their verbiage in that they think is the best without
Or,
stepping out of our
or
bounds.
do- or do we,
You pick, yeah, you.
I think we merge them.
Merge 'em.
Yeah.
okay? Which one of my whereases you wanna get rid of?
I
And
think we need to make them all. I don't know if we need to get rid of anything, but combine it
Yeah.
in some fashion, right? But basically. For me to think about this, I need to think about from top to bottom. Right, the top is laying out the problem that we have,
Mhm.
and the bottom is our solution, more or less.
okay,
And to me, the solution is. To make this worded in a way that doesn't shut the door completely, which I feel like I did more of. So wording it in a way to reflect. What we're just talking about, like you wanna subdivide for a house for your family, whatever it is, so is that? Do we word it in a way that it's a major subdivision
Mhm.
on a parcel that's X amount of acres or larger? on these soils, right? Like, so like take a little bit of Evans
Yeah,
and the way he worded it and put it onto these two types of soils.
Or do we wanna take?
Let's go down through on Evans there. In each paragraph, let's mark it A, B, C, D, E, and F. And over on Evans, we'll mark them 1, 2, 3,
I thought we were doing that.
4. Doesn't matter.
I think he did Austin first. Austin is alphabetical, I'm numerical.
And if we want to pull something from one to the other, bring number 1 over and put it with A or something like that.
Do you wanna combine the whereases, or do you wanna
No,
put down 11 whereases? And one therefore be it resolved?
Well, what I'm thinking, let's
We've
take,
got a naughty.
because we've kind of got the same thing in each one down through, but we gotta clean it up a little bit. So
Okay.
we read whereas Dryden Comp and Dryden Advisory. What do we wanna combine that somehow? Do we wanna keep it separate? Do we wanna improve it? Yes, Ken? Yes. No, I'm over at town board, so what's up?
Travis's phone number, I can call up, maybe.
Just a second, I'll text it to you. Yeah, I'll text her that, yeah.
So would it get too wordy if I jump to the bottom and we talked about the line 6 and line G? And somehow combine those two. And that's our golden ticket, is like getting that with therefore
The resolved part.
resolve part, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Together. So I feel like that's where we should start. Somehow wording these prime soils and soils statewide importance into a moratorium on, let's say, major subdivisions. I mean, that would
Yeah,
cover
is there a-
all here.
yeah. Is there a classification in the planning or the zoning laws about major?
Minor versus major.
Yeah, there are major versus minor, but I don't know those definitions and what,
Okay,
We have Wi-Fi here?
yes. Up on that yellow is,
One with big yellow sign?
yeah.
town of Dryden guest. All are welcome. What a password.
Exclamation point. I don't know if that's part of the.
Yeah, that is probably password.
Well, the Workforce Housing Committee might help us here. One of their whereases refers to clustering homes closer together, and it implies the idea of making smaller lots.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
ours should have the same sense that.
Would that be as a whereas?
So do we need to do that now?
I'm not sure yet.
Is- Rather than-
I'm struggling with this one.
Right,
We just kind of want to stay broad and.
I think
get the
so.
things.
Ron, I'm gonna hold on things.
yeah, we just want the
Then get down
brakes on now,
to get our details.
and then,
I think the meat of it is in that resolved, and then we can, the
Mhm.
whereases really are just facts and details
Mhm.
on this that we can
Mhm.
throw in as many or as.
our justification for asking for it.
Right. So take Evans subdivision, or well, whether we put major subdivision permits in with the,
He's investigating.
or Austin talks about the soils.
And he strongly recommends, I only request. He's got a bigger hand.
I was kind of stumbling on that word of what should I put there after.
And he's invoking and I'm implementing.
And it's kind of amazing. Without looking at one or the other, you came up pretty close.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed with all the whereases.
Well, that's the easy couple of words to put in the front of any one.
How about this? The advisory committee invokes a moratorium on the development of major subdivisions on agricultural lands or prime soils.
Soils of statewide importance.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, we need to
do
get
that.
soils of statewide importance, because
Yeah,
that's a,
put that in, yeah,
Yeah.
keep that in, but to a moratorium on development of major subdivisions.
Yeah, and it strongly recommends the town of Dryden invoke moratorium on.
On the development of major
Major.
subdivisions in areas of prime soils or soils of statewide importance. A lawyer might argue about the definition of major subdivision.
Well, that's what we're trying to,
Right,
Any subdivision.
but then
Yeah,
Then we're
you're right.
we're trying to stay away from.
I'm really,
prohibits.
somebody putting up a house,
Well, you,
one house.
they're a large farm operation. They need more housing. And you decide you're gonna build housing somewhere on it.
Well, normally we wouldn't subdivide it, but
No,
if I wanted to build a house per se,
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
it. I did it in Virgil.
Yeah.
But it was a minor subdivision, so I think that's the least of our worries. Right? I mean, we're not concerned about Steve going and parceling off 2 acres in the corner of a field for a house versus somebody breaking up 150 acres of tillable grounds, right?
Right,
So looking at the big cookie here.
Mhm.
right.
So I do like the major subdivision. I can't, it's very vague on the eco here. Doesn't say much on minor.
But do you want to
Regarding size.
not have or define what prime is too, though?
But that's
That's all
already.
it's defined
Definition, that's done. You can see that.
Yeah, I basically just, I think it's important to say based on USDA soil maps, because
Yeah.
otherwise you're
Yeah.
pulling it out from random.
Yeah,
So basically what I have underlined is, let it be resolved that the Ag Committee strongly recommends the town of Dryden to invoke a moratorium on major subdivisions within prime soils and soils of statewide importance based on the USDA soil maps from New York State for a
Okay.
period of 18 months.
yeah.
It's kind of a mouthful, but
Right,
that comes.
pretty much
close enough.
what we're looking for here.
did you have development in there?
I took development out and I would put in major subdivisions.
Okay,
I mean, you can't
not the development
Develop-
of a major subdivision, but
just subdivision. I mean, you can't do any development without the subdivision portion of it, so.
Yeah, good point.
The only thing you can still do here is you can still put solar on it and this and that. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah,
But
'cause
that we would get in the
that's-
backside of this zone.
that's a lease deal.
Yeah, but. For this. I don't know. Covers a bunch of it. It doesn't solve the solar. I think the solar has to come in. In the ag protection zone in some sort of fashion.
Down, or not, yeah, sort of.
well, I'm
You've
right,
got it on the
Yeah.
audio.
I'm not gonna write down all
Okay,
the conversations.
No, I was just thinking what the Austin.
Yeah, I've got it underlined too, if we need to circle back.
Yeah, you're right, the rest of it is. not
I
very
think
important.
all of
Whereas
the whereases are relevant, it's just a matter of which ones we feel are most important.
Austin says the town needs more time, Evan says the ag committee needs more time,
To assist Zag,
I think it is important to say that the Dryden Planning Board is writing new zoning, because I mean. It's the perfect time to
Yeah,
bring ag
Right.
protection zoning into
right,
this.
that's my
So I believe that is
ABC.
pretty relevant one.
No, that's my number 3.
All right, so we're,
I don't know if we need to write in that we're reviewing successful plans in Pennsylvania at this point.
Okay,
That's kind of
Yeah,
irrelevant
I'm
at this
for
point.
it,
yeah.
yeah.
all right. I mean, I put her in to say, see, we're doing our homework.
And yeah, I think I would put it in there, but I feel like we're gonna have too many. I don't know if there's a limit to whereas is. I've
No.
never written one of these
lawyers
before.
love them.
She says no.
yeah, there's not.
So well then, do we just put them all in? I
I can go A1 or 1A,
think we
A1.
just have to figure out the order and then,
Yeah,
yeah.
We'll start with Austin's first one,
Yep.
and put Evan's first one underneath that.
Mm-hmm.
And Austin, you were the alphabet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we got
Good thought,
A,
Steve.
A,
and
then one.
Okay,
A. One,
So nothing in E code talks about acres on a subdivision or number of lots. Google AI.
and if we leave B in, it probably should come after C.
Probably
We're gonna do A and then one.
A and one,
then
C and D.
C, D,
C. B.
C.
B. B.
Okay, now we're at, whereas the production, yeah, we're
Do you wanna add
And
in?
the two.
Yeah,
two. Yeah, back up to that.
Well,
somewhere.
that can go in down the line somewhere. And we're talking about specifically about soils and ag production. In his.
Well, then I would just put D right in there.
Yeah,
A one, C, B. Or D.
D,
A, one, C, B, D.
D, okay.
D is in doe.
Google AI would tell you major subdivision, usually 5+ lots requiring new infrastructure, streets, utilities. Minor subdivision, usually 2 to 4 lots.
It's pretty close to what we want there, actually.
And
Yeah, minor being a couple
you're
of
not gonna
house
take
lots.
I mean, worst case, you lose a 10-acre chunk of ground to 4 house lots. Not as big of a deal as something like this caliber.
And those other zoning laws that I was looking at that Jason sent out, there was a proportionate there to the size of the original farm parcel is to how it can be subdivided. So, a large parcel could sell off, a smaller subdivision in a corner or something like that.
On that article,
Yeah.
it said, yeah, there was some ratio.
Some ratios in there,
Yeah.
yes, it's some of the different towns that they were
Yeah,
working
how did
with.
they word that though? The larger, I can't remember how they worded it. Was it the larger the lot, the larger the?
I was in Newark Valley at a ball game at the time, so
I have to reread it, but
While I
yeah,
was reading it,
that was one of the ways they were doing it is.
yeah,
The bigger, the size of the lot, the total lot. Had an effect.
And
on
they were
what
trying
you
to
could do
keep-
with the parcel.
as much ag land
Yeah,
contiguous as possible.
right. And like if you were allowed to do it, you'd have to do it on the worst soils that are on the parcel
Mhm,
or something like that.
Go back 15 years, remember when they wanted lots to be 10 acres?
Yeah, like over here in South.
Crazy.
McClintock or.
Road, yeah.
10 acres.
Yep. They thought that would slow down
Slow down
development,
soils
it just
over
chop
there.
the farms up that much quicker. That was before there was much ag input into what really worked.
Gonna woke everybody up. All right,
Do we just put E after D? And kind of.
can I keep going with the
I
farming?
think that's pretty much everything on the actual farming portion.
And then work in
And
that.
then, yeah, right, it goes into.
Planning board in the town.
Yeah, like needing more time and
Yeah.
Okay,
the planning board zoning, blah, blah, blah.
You know, the state.
so we're not going to include F,
I don't think F needs to be in there on mine. I think that
Okay.
can get crossed off.
so it's B, D, E,
And then skip over to 2.
And
And E would go follow,
yeah,
Yeah.
he's following D. And then we do 2,
3.
3. And we've tossed out 4.
I think we,
That's fine,
yeah, I think we tossed.
okay? And then add,
Need more time.
we were gonna use 5 in place of F.
Yes. Yep,
And we
Then
are,
what's the strong words or the request?
on the resolved,
Yeah.
I think, did you get that? You want me to reread?
you
what it
already, you rewrote it, what,
Yeah.
how do you have it? Final
So-
draft.
Therefore, let it be resolved that the Agriculture Advisory Committee strongly recommends the town of Dryden to invoke a moratorium on major subdivisions on prime soils and soils of statewide importance based on the USDA soil maps for New York State for a period of 18 months.
Very good.
That's the right statement.
Do we
Yep.
move the period of 18 months somewhere else in the sentence or just leave it the way it is?
Take a step out right at the end.
Yeah.
or you could say invoke a moratorium for a period of 18 months.
That's what I was wondering if you put that back in the beginning of the sentence.
I think that'd be better.
Moratorium for a period of 18 months.
Okay,
On the development of,
I'm just,
No, not on the development, on the subdivision.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yep.
on,
Let me cross that out so I don't do that again.
major
Yes.
subdivision.
Yeah, so a period of 18 months goes right after moratorium.
Between moratorium and on.
Yeah. I love it.
Okay, everybody, clear as mud?
okay.
This is great job.
How we doing down there, boss? You got
You
it?
did a really nice job. Very nice job.
They merged. It's just amazing. that-
It all comes together.
All right, so we have in order A, 1, C, B, D, E, 2, 3, 5, and then G.
Slow down again, let me make sure.
2, 3. You put four?
A,
One.
Nope, I didn't.
No,
I don't
four.
need four. That's fine.
A, 1, C, B, D, E, 2, 3, 5, and G
Mm-hmm.
with
yep.
Austin. Okay. All right. I got it.
And we're back to kindergarten. All in favor of the
Oh, yeah, that's right.
new combined resolution? I would entertain a motion.
Second entertained motion that we send this back to the town board for.
And second there.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Excellent.
Well, my next question is, what does that look like in the presentation for the town tomorrow? I'm assuming we're gonna have to go do that, right? Have to be there and speak on it? Has anybody done that before?
Yeah.
What is that presentation?
You come up to the podium and
Just
And,
gotta read it.
just kind of read it. and-
You reading the whole thing?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would like make a copy of it and hand it to them and then.
Yeah, they would have several copies so they can read along with it.
What I'll do is I'll come in tomorrow, get all this put together, email it out to you all, the town board. Obviously Cassie, because she's gotta get it on the agenda,
Mhm.
and then I can just make copies for her so she has them, or give them to Bambi to hand out.
Thank you.
And they know, they've got a heads up already that it's gonna be showing up,
Jason
so.
said he would.
Yes, Jason mentioned it at the last board meeting, so
Yep.
you're all set with this.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's not gonna do it.
When do you think it'll be very early in it or late in it or what?
Right.
Is right here after
You've already got the agenda out?
I have the agenda. Public hearings and presentations, public hearing on data centers, cryptocurrency. Couple resolutions on that, and then it's Trident Committee.
That's
So pretty-
relatively beginning.
Pretty early.
It's time is that starting?
Six. So I don't know if that's 6:30 or I don't know how long.
You just, you never know.
Oh, I know, but
They
I
get
just, I
snarled
just
up.
hope if I don't get a call, that I gotta go somewhere.
So you plan on being there, Austin?
Yeah, I don't see you
You
with
must-
pain, you must be doing better.
Oh, a lot better.
Oh, you didn't see her. I'll show you how she's doing.
What, he was off doing an Irish dance somewhere?
I was at the Olympics.
Oh, really? Okay, I heard that that's the way the curlers practices with Swiffers.
Inspectors. Okay,
All right, anything else while we are here?
We will, I can't make that meeting tomorrow. Will other people be there?
I'll be there.
I'll try.
I'm planning on
I
it.
had last night and Friday night, so I might as well work Thursday night into.
Sitting here Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night over.
So after this happens, I mean, the zoning portion of that, is that something that we are specifically gonna create, or do we have to work side by side with?
We're gonna be
Yeah,
working with
With them,
them.
but we gotta hand feed them to.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta kind of do it and then convince them.
So in what format are we doing it? Are we just writing a bunch of notes and saying, here you go, or is it another resolution? I mean.
Mhm. I think you can do it just by.
you just
Working with the
create it, notes and they.
The- zoning advisory group.
That was that group that held close.
Oh, and your email was it a month ago when you were at a meeting with English professors and lawyers? I said, God, that was great.
That's what it's like.
So how would you describe your meetings with us then?
Oh, these are fun. I like these. These are good. These are excellent.
All right. Entertain a
I think that
motion.
Zag group could have pulled together, what we just pulled together in 20 minutes.
They would have 4 hours.
Probably 2 meetings, at least.
You got 2 2 hour meetings. That's what I was thinking.
We're so like-minded though. I mean, we're all starting from the same base and it makes it a lot easier. If you had somebody that was clueless or didn't agree, then
They're in phase 1. That's been going on for a year or 2 or 5. I'm not sure. This may be in phase 2. This,
Yeah,
this may be in
Jason
phase
said
2.
this would be in
Phase
phase
2.
two.
So you know.
so we might as
You can
well.
have a couple of children between now and then.
How many more grandkids?
So,
Well, they'll just keep extending the moratorium.
yeah, at least we could if we had to.
Yeah, they asked for
So, but
100 again.
we might as well figure on starting to work on it.
Yeah.
Whether they get ready.
No, this will give something to do. I think phase 1 might be done this summer.
Theoretically.
No, this would be a good project. I mean, this is the answer the town doesn't have virtually, right? Cause
Yeah.
this is something that we've been avoiding for. a while
Ever.
now.
So how many English professors do we need to get on here to help us do this?
I think we stay with our group.
Okay.
It might need a lawyer though, when we
Well,
try to
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
get into a law policy
Yeah.
Yeah,
about size of subdivision.
Yeah.
major subdivision.
there'll be other stuff too, the
So
definition.
we may find more wording out there that somebody else has done that.
Right.
This is just a stopgap to get us to that
It's a
point.
good start, yeah.
Copy and paste a little bit.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I don't know if this is gonna be possible to get done in a matter of a amount of time.
Why not? At least on our end, whether,
On our end, I don't think, I mean, but just getting a moratorium through before,
oh,
for specifically this project.
have you heard anything?
I have not.
Well, if the moratorium is in the process, that puts a little bookmark in
Yeah.
the,
I would say by tomorrow night, if the board, whatever the board decides on.
Mhm.
That's it. That's where.
They can go with it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's good.
That was my understanding talking to Jason.
Get
as
the-
well.
yeah.
Mhm.
Jefferson County, it seems like that's where I was up there a couple years ago. And one of the big farms up there was running in the same situation. I gotta see if I can figure out who the heck it was, cause they They went through a lot of stuff and set it up. I think it was Jefferson.
Countywide, or
Well, it was a township in Jefferson. I
there's a couple of them.
They basically would have to abide by this moratorium, even if it wasn't specifically passed yet. Or, I mean, how does that? Doesn't it have to go through?
It just,
Reviews?
it.
I don't quite understand that process. You're saying that it
I think it puts,
could-
I think it puts a little hold on the acceptance of an application.
That hasn't, oh,
As long
yeah,
as
you
they
did
haven't
say
sent an
that, something about that
Yeah.
last meeting,
Mhm.
yeah, okay.
There hasn't been any formal
Application.
submitted, so.
And it sounded like Jason said even if they had to call a special meeting to get it passed,
Yeah,
he would willing to
Right.
do that.
Sometimes stuff like this, so, well, this could be their last meeting, don't they like? Bring it up at one meeting and then pass it at the next, or do they sometimes push something right through?
Yeah, they can push it right through to tomorrow, unless it gets tabled, but I don't see this being tabled.
Right,
I think it's key that. I think there's gonna be quite a bit of support from the conservation side,
mhm,
my knowledge from we had a meeting on Saturday, some neighbors. And they sound like they were gonna be at this planning board meeting, but. I think it'd be important that there's more than one of us, sounds like there will be tomorrow.
mhm.
Tomorrow's town board meeting, right?
Yeah,
The conservation, workforce housing and agriculture are all pretty negative about this.
They're pretty, yeah. They might all lean us slightly
Right,
different, but
We have a conservation board meeting next week, so I can take all this
yeah, they were pretty eager, Ann and
and
Nancy were pretty eager to hear what we were gonna come up with.
Yeah. I can take it next week too.
Well, I think they'll both be at this,
No, they may be, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sure they will be, yeah.
Entertaining a motion that we adjourn.
This is probably the most significant thing that this board, since I've been on it, has done to be able to work together and pull this off like we did.
And going forward, I mean, if we can actually do some protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, get something in the zoning.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that'd be huge. All right, I second the motion to adjourn.
Bye.
Aye. Well. All in favor? Hey, good night.
Good night.
Let's get out.
Okay,
thanks so much.
Thank you.
thank you guys.
Thank you.